Welcome to the Advanced Temporal Language Aided Search, or ATLAS for short, from Stanford University. ATLAS is a search engine powered by a flexible API designed for applications that rely on fast cohort building. Let's say you're a researcher at Stanford, curious about the number of diabetics we treat. We can use ATLAS to find those patients. We are searching roughly 2.3 million patients and 31 million encounters. Let's start simple by finding those who have an ICD-9 code for diabetes. Using the ICD-9 code for diabetes, ATLAS retrieves around 61,000 patients in less than half a second. This cohort is mostly men who are 45 to 65 years old and had more than 30 encounters. Let's filter our search to diabetics with a prescription for an anti-diabetic drug. The recommended first-line therapy for diabetes is metformin, so let's check how many people started out treatment that way. We get around 24,000 patients. We can also use ATLAS to search a large national claims database of more than 120 million lives, and here we find around 3.9 million such patients in only a few seconds. Now let's use sequence to find patients who got the drug a few weeks after being diagnosed. We are down to about 3,800 patients. This is getting to be a long query, so let's define a variable for these patients. Not all patients manage to get their diabetes under control with metformin, so we might want to search lab records to see how many still have high blood glucose after their treatment. We find around 1,200 such patients. Let's make this a variable too. Now we can check how many patients are then prescribed a different anti-diabetic drug, like glipizide. 387 diabetic patients were prescribed glipizide after being prescribed metformin and still having high blood glucose. ATLAS can also search clinical notes from the EHR, including information about a patient's family history of disease. For the patients with diabetes, for example, we can ask if any have a recorded family history of cardiovascular disease. There are 60 such patients. It is also possible to retrieve data about patients for downstream analysis. For example, the time a diabetic was first diagnosed. This data can then be processed directly with your favorite analysis tool. This concludes our quick walkthrough of ATLAS at Stanford, a fast and powerful search tool for patient data.